you thought you were on the same page, and I was on the same page with you. You thought your defense would hold up some to where you get into the 50s, and they scored 23 points in the last 5 minutes as they won 69-60. Talk about that game, Coach. Just back and forth. We kept battling. They played hard, low scoring until the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a situation to where as though we thought that the style of play, how the game was being played, it fits us best. Low scoring game, physical game, tough getting points on the board. I thought that that style of basketball play has fit us all year and it's been fitting me since I've been here. So we thought we had the advantage, especially at halftime when we were down 3 points. We played terrible. Um, we thought that we had the advantage. And, they came out and made a run, and we came out and make a run. And I remember us going up 44-40. Then time the game back up 46 all. And after that, they just took the lead, and they went uphill from downhill. And we tried to, when we get down 8 points and 10 points with 3-4 minutes to go, we're not the best basketball team. So just trying to find a way to, get everything out of these guys, push them to the max, try to coach them to my best ability, put them in a great situation to be successful, prepare them as best, everything. So, gave it everything we got to try to, find a way to get over that hump and potentially get to the NCAA tournament and make a run in the SWAC tournament. Unfortunately, that game that we played against Bethune-Cookman, we didn't have the opportunity to win that game the last 5-6 minutes. But I told my team I appreciate the effort that they gave all year, how hard they went, just being coachable, and just the success that we did have, finishing 11-7 in conference, isn't too bad. But we started a little slow, but they able to pick up some steam. So we fought different battles all year. If it was injuries due to, or if it was holding guys accountable due to disciplinary actions. We fought challenges all year, but we found a way to fight all year as well too.
And I've mentioned this to you over the last couple of weeks of the season. A number of people have come to me and said, man, you know what? Landon Bussie ought to be commended. In their minds, this was probably his best coaching year. And it just go over the whole coaching gamut, Coach. When you have the talent, when you have the Jeremiah Gambrels and the Jeremiah Kendalls, the Byron Joshuas, the DK Thorns, the Keandre Montgomerys, when you had all that talent and we won, it obviously speaks to coaching when you could put that together and win at a high level. We won 2 regular season titles, the number 2 seed over a 3-year period. But you said in September, and it's on video, we got receipts, this is going to be a challenging year. You say it's going to be a work in progress all year long. But a lot of people felt like to get what you got out of this team, to finish as a 7 seed, and I thought we were turning the corner. And to me, and we'll talk about the game, obviously, but just looking at the season, I thought we were coming along. The Southern game was obviously tough, but that FAMU game at home in which we had the lead, 20 points, and lost that, I thought that took a lot out of us, and you're trying to build that thing back. And in my opinion, Coach, and it was just kind of hard to get back there. I mean, I felt good about UAPB because it was a tournament atmosphere. UAPB had to win to make the tournament. We beat them. They didn't make the tournament. But I just thought we were coming, and then we had some roadblocks, and then just trying to get it back. But a lot of people felt like this was your best coaching job this year, considering all the different pieces and new assistant coaches.
Yeah, I mean, I had to coach them a lot more. In the past, I gave them a lot more freedom on the offensive end, for them to showcase their ability. Like I said, with the Jeremiah Kendalls and the Jeremiah Gambriels and the DJ Brutons and the Justin Thomas, Darius Agnew, those guys, Keandre Montgomery, guys who the best thing to do is just get out the way and let them put the ball in the basket. So, I had to do a lot more coaching, a lot more attention to detail was expected from my coaching staff, especially game planning, because we knew that we didn't have the talent that I didn't have in the past. I do think that these guys were had the toughness. definitely had the toughness. But as far as just having that guy or two, like a JK, just to get the ball to, and he could run off 6 or 8 straight. Unfortunately, we just didn't have that this year. But I just take the hats off to my guys for not making excuses, finding a way to come in and win basketball games. If it's Grambling on the road and beating Bethune-Cookman twice in the regular season, and Alabama State, who's in the NCAA tournament, beat them. Going down to Pine Bluff and tough atmosphere where they got to win to get in. So it's some moments that we had that was special this year. We competed hard against Rice, competed hard against South Alabama. There are moments to where as though this team shows signs of being a good basketball team, but we just never show signs of consistency. We never show signs of growth. We never show signs of just commitment to, the overall program. We never got over that hump. We always was right there straddling the fence. And, a lot of it is just due to injuries that may have took place. With Amari Hamilton, and that was huge. Just trying to, when you got one of your leading scorers at one point go out, and now you're trying to, fill in the void to where as though you already struggle scoring, and then to guys stepping away from the team. Us just trying to find a way to, depend on guys who, when you go out recruiting, and you're building a roster, you're trying to build a program. You look at a guy like Davion Williams, who was huge for us this year, and have a really, really bright future, and plays extremely hard and competes at a very high level. But when you recruiting, you didn't expect him to play as much minutes as he did this year, due to you have a lot of older guys that play his position that have had experience at Division I level, that you really depended on for them to teach him and show him what you got to do to be successful. But it forced him to come in and right away and grow up. Forced him to come in right away and compete and play both sides of the ball. And he was able to do that. He had his moments to where as though he's a freshman, but he also had some moments to where as though I felt as though he might have been the best player on the court. Just like when we played Oklahoma, I think he finished the game with 18 points or something like that, and he didn't look like a freshman out there. So you had guys who stepped up all year, next man up mentality. So I just take my hats off to this team, to my coaches, and everyone.
The day of the Bethune-Cookman game, as we get back to that game in which the Braves lost 69-60, Coach Carey, Florida A&M's coach, I saw him sitting in the stands, and he came over to me and said, "Hey, let me tell you something. This kid, Braden Freeman, he's a difference maker for that team." And I know you talked about him, the fact that we didn't see him in the 2 regular season meetings. Freeman was huge in the game. He finished with 19 points. How big of a difference was that? They had another kid who didn't play. He didn't make the trip, but we didn't see him. That could have been back, but he obviously did not play. How big was that? I mean, you got Kamara, you got Thomas, you got Willoughby, but what difference did Freeman make, in your opinion, in this game?
He made all the difference. He was the best player on the court that night. He was hard to keep out the paint. His jump shot was falling. He was creating for others. He was hard. We was expecting for that Freeman though. It's nothing that we did not expect or prepare for or plan for. We knew what was coming at us. We knew that we beat them twice, and they felt as though we beat them twice due to that. They didn't have Freeman, and it shows the reason why everybody talks so highly of that kid, because how talented he is, how versatile he is, the ability to score, the ability to get his teammates involved. It's nothing that we didn't expect. And you take your hats off to him and Bethune-Cookman for advancing in that round.
And we talked about it at the top. They scored 23 points in the last 5 minutes. I know that's way beyond what that you're beyond your comprehension, because you like to lock it down defensively. Where did it start in terms of that? Did it start with that? We had a 4-point lead, and then it was 46 all. Is that kind of where it turned, maybe around the 6 minute, 7 minute mark?
Well, when you look at 23 points in the last 5 minutes, you can't really evaluate that because now we're down 7 8 points. Now we have to start taking gambles and risk and things like that. We have to trap and take a little risk to try to win the game. You don't look at how many points they score in the last 5 minutes. You look at that score and try to get over that hump. And then you also start fouling. I know we fouled probably about 8 to 10 free throws at the last minute to try to see if they miss the free throws, if we can get back in the game that way. So you don't look at it as they scored 23 points the last 5 minutes because a lot of it is us trying to get back in the game, taking risks, taking gambles, trying to speed them up, and might trap here, might give up an open shot here, got a foul here to try to see if they can miss the front end of it 1-on-1. So you don't look at it like that. You look at it as though that when they got that lead, with I think they went up 7 8 points or whatever the case may be in the 4 or 5 minutes. What could you have done better to close that gap sooner than later? So, but you learn from it. I'll learn from it. I'll grow from it. Everything that wins, losses, tie ball games that I have been a part of in these last 5 years here at Alcorn have made me a better coach and put me in such a situation to where as though I will be better in moments. I will make sure my team is prepared for different moments. But it just you don't lose. You win basketball games or you learn, and that's what it comes down to.
What was the mood in the locker room like? What was the speech to your team after the game?
I just tell them how proud I am of them. It was a tough season. A lot of incoming players, a lot of new players. So just tell them how proud I am of them, how hard they got competed. Unfortunately, something that they don't want to hear, due to everybody has their mind made up that trying to get to one goal. But just the effort that they competed with all year, um, accepting the tough coaching, buying into the tough practices, buying into the tough shoot around. One thing I think that we did a great job all year is, me and my coaches push these guys to the max. Every single shoot around, every single practice, all the way up into the SWAC tournament. We didn't take not one day off, and them guys did not lay down at all. We just did not lay down, and we had every opportunity to win that basketball game in the last 5 minutes against Bethune-Cookman. So, going to continue to try to find a way to become a better coach, find a way to continue to impact student athlete lives.
This as far as a coach is concerned, whether an assistant or of course being the head coach here, was this the most challenging year you've ever experienced?
Yeah, because in the last 6 years, if I wasn't, in the last 6 years, outside the COVID year, since I even been at Prairie View, I've been at the top. I've been at the top. Last year, finished the second. 2 years prior to that, regular season championship. Then I'm coming off of being an assistant, two championships in a row. So yeah, it's tough. When you're in a position to where as though you just never been in. You never been in when it comes down to being in the SWAT. You never been in sixth place. You never been, not having a game or win, having an opportunity to win, regular season championship, SWAC tournament championship. I had the opportunity to go to the SWAC tournament championship when I was at Prairie View. And I tell my kids all the time, it's one of the best experiences ever. However, it's hard to get to. It's hard to get to.
Yeah.
Every year it's only gonna be one team. Every year 1 out of 12 team will go. You just hope that you get there more than you don't. But unfortunately, we didn't have the opportunity to do that. But when you say was it challenging, absolutely, every year is challenging. However, this was a little more mentally challenging due to I'm in an uncomfortable situation, being where I've never been before.
Well, with the transfer portal, and we know what's going on in athletics now, players and getting paid and NIL rosters are flipping every year. Getting back to that top of the mountain year in and year out with rosters changing every year, you gotta relish in the moment because most likely roster's going to change next year with the players that we've lost. And so it does make it even more so challenging. You get a young team, you hope they stick and stay, they grow together. but that's not athletics as we know it right now. Rosters are going to change. You're going to be in the portal even more so to try to build it back up again.
Yeah, I mean, I think rosters are going to change every year. Rosters will change every year. We will have a high turnover rate every single year. That's just not just for Alcorn. That's for every school. Every single year,
Yeah.
you'll see 8 new guys. A lot of these athletes right now are chasing the money, chasing the bag. So you got to learn how to adjust when you are in this business and try to figure out different ways to recruit good athletes.
Um, I was thinking about the year and just the tournament, the setup, and Alabama State coach won it. We saw Alabama State in game 2 or game 3 of conference. It's the only time we played them. Were you surprised at what Alabama State was able to do? I mean, they just kind of grew on all of us. They beat Florida A&M twice. They were one made bucket away from winning at our place. I mean, they just seemed to just peak really at the right time. Did that surprise you? What Alabama State was able to do?
Absolutely not. I mean, I thought it was anybody's tournament. I thought Pine Bluff got in and they could win. It was anybody's tournament. There was no upsets in that tournament. Wasn't no upsets at all. I mean, I've been a part of, being a 1 seed and getting knocked off in the first round. So, what Southern went through is nothing that a lot of coaches who have won before never haven't been through. So it's not no upsets. Jack State didn't get upset. We didn't. Nobody got upset. This is it's a 0-0 tournament that whoever wins advance to the next round. So I wasn't shocked about anybody of them 8 teams, 10 teams. I don't know how many teams in it, but that will win. I would not be shocked. I feel as though that across the board, the teams was even. And that goes for, some might have better players than others. Some might have more chemistry and it's more experience. Some might be, better coached than others. Some might be, whatever the case may be. I think all the teams were, pretty much even.
The commissioner told me when I interviewed him and how wide open the tournament is. And to your point, even Nate Kilbert says there were no upsets in the SWAC tournament. You're saying the same thing. The commissioner said the same thing, basically. He said the difference between Team 1 and Team 10 was maybe 1 or 2 players, which is not that much.
Well, yeah, I mean, the difference between, us finishing in 6th place and us finishing in the 4th place was 1 game. So, we beat FAMU, and we find a way to get out of that hole, that tough place to play in Baton Rouge when we had a 1-point lead with 50-something seconds to go. We finished the season out with 13 and 5, and you're in 2nd place. So 1 possession here, 1 possession there. Alabama State had a possession to beat us at the buzzer. So it's one. I mean, it's not even. I don't think it's one or 2 players. I think it's 1 or 2 plays.
1 or 2 plays. Yeah, I kind of agree with you. Well, Coach, what's next now in terms of recruiting and everything? What's I know you're very emotional after the game. Tough to kind of get your thoughts now. You've had a few days to kind of decompress a little bit. What's next here over the next couple of weeks?
Just for one, just you always got to do a great job of recruiting your own players, re-recruit your own players. But more so than anything, just to focus on academics. Focus on academics. Get these guys to finish out the year strong. Make sure these guys are eligible for their next journey of life. But more so than anything, just try to re-recruit your own players. Re-recruit them. Focus on academics. Recharge. Get back to the drawing board and get ready to fight again.
That's Braves head basketball coach Landon Bussie. Coach, we really appreciate all the access all year long, the ups and downs, the yo-yos. It's you lay it on the line. And former players who played at Alcorn have told me, they would love to have played for you because you're going to bring out the best in everybody, whether it's a coach, a radio announcer, a player, it doesn't matter. But we really appreciate all the access all year long. We really do appreciate it. And looking to go a little further, but, I'm just looking forward to seeing what's next.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you so much, Mr. Charles.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, sounds good.
That's Braves head basketball coach Landon Bussie, ladies and gentlemen. That's the season finale. Boy, it's just been a long year. It's been a long grind, and we appreciate all the access. We appreciate the calls. We appreciate the texts as well as the tweets. and we look forward to doing it again soon. For our great producers, Cedric Tillman on the video side. You don't see Cedric, but Cedric's the one that makes it happen on the video side. Jamario Brooks, the one and only on the radio side. We appreciate all you guys. We appreciate all the support. And now it's up to baseball and softball. That's coming up this weekend. We'll keep you posted. The Lady Braves softball team, head coach Brianna Billy in her first season. Carlton Hardy, kind of a tough stretch for the Braves baseball team. But we'll have those broadcasts. We're gonna get it going. We're gonna get to Birmingham for the baseball tournament. We're gonna get to Gulfport for the softball tournament. We'll have all of that starting this weekend. That'll do it for the coaches shows. For our producers, head coach Nate Kilbert and Landon Bussie, I'm Charles Edmond. It's been a pleasure. We'll talk to you this weekend. So long.